for this tutorial, I'm going to be using my size 4mm hook as always, my scissors, and I'm going to be using some leftover yarns and some unraveled yarns from old projects. So for now, I don't really know the colors I'm going to be mixing, but I know that I want to mix different colors. So because they're leftover yarns, one is not going to be enough. So I have to like mix them to have a complete project. So I'm going to be starting with this yellow. For your foundation chain, you're going to measure your hips because it's your hips measurement you're going to be using. And you're going to make a foundation chain that is wide enough to pass your hips when stretched. So, chain 1 and just make a foundation chain. So I'm done with my foundation chain and I did a total of 140, which is wide enough to pass my hips. So like I said, do the amount of chain that is wide enough to pass your hips. So luckily for me, the yarn I'm using is quite stretchy, so it can pass my hips easily. So you're just going to join the two ends with a slip stitch. For the first row, you're going to chain 1, going to the first stitch with 1 double crochet, yarn over and going to the next stitch with 1 double crochet, yarn over and going to the next stitch with 1 double crochet. So if you don't know how to do a double crochet, what you're going to do is yarn over, going to the stitch, yarn over and pull through. You're going to have 3 loops left. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. Yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So just continue with 1 double crochet till you get to the end of the row. Now I've come to the end of the row, so I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch. For row 2, I'm going to be working with the front and the back post. So from row 2 down to the length you want the skirt to be, you're going to be working with the front and the back post. So you're going to start by chaining 1, yarn over and going to the front post with 1 double crochet. Yarn over and going to the back post with 1 double crochet, yarn over, going to the front post with 1 double crochet, yarn over and going to the back post. So this is the back post, yarn over and going to the front post with 1 double crochet, yarn over and going to the back post with 1 double crochet. So continue till you get to the end of the row. I've come to the end of the second row. I'm just going to slip stitch into the chain 1 I did at the beginning of the row. For the third row, you're going to repeat the second row. So chain 1, in the front post go in with 1 double crochet, in the back post go in with 1 double crochet, in the front post go in with 1 double crochet, and in the back post go in with 1 double crochet. So each time you see a front post, you're going to go into the front post, and where you see a back post, you're going to go into the back post. So like I said at the beginning, it's just a repetition of 1 stitch, which is the front and the back posts. You're not going to be doing any increase or decrease. That's why your foundation chain should be long enough to be able to pass your hips, since you're not going to be doing any increase. So just continue with the front and the back post, and I'll come back and show you guys when I'm about to switch color. So you're going to see how I'm going to be switching my colors. So now I have a total of 6 rows of double crochet in the yellow yarn. Now from here on, I'm going to switch my color to this green. So what I'm going to do now is I have one more stitch left before the slip stitch, which is a back post. So I'm going to yarn over and go through the back post, yarn over and pull through. I have 3 loops left. Now take this your other color of yarn, yarn over and pull through both colors. So yarn over and pull through the yellow and yarn over and pull through the green yarn. Yarn over and pull through 2. I have 2 loops left, or rather 3, because we have an extra yarn. Now I'm going to drop the yellow yarn and just work with the green yarn. So yarn over and pull through all loops. I'm going to do this one more time. So on the last stitch, you're going to yarn over and go into the last stitch with 1 double crochet. Yarn over and pull through. You're going to have 3 loops left. Now take the color you want to switch to, yarn over and go through both colors. So you're going through the old yarn and the new yarn. Now yarn over and pull through 2. You're going to have 3 loops because you have 2 of those colors, but in reality you have 2 loops. So now you're going to drop the yellow yarn and just work with the green yarn and pull through. Let's do this one last time. So you're going to yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over and pull through. Go into the back loop, yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops. Yarn over and go through both colors. Yarn over and pull through 2. And then you're going to be working with just the green. So yarn over and pull through. Now you can just pull this yellow to tighten it off and then slip stitch to close up the round. To start a new round, now we'll be working with the green. I'm just going to cut this yellow yarn. So chain 1, go into the front loop with 1 double crochet. Now you're just going to continue with what you've been doing in the previous row, going into the front and the back post. So whenever I say back loop or front loop, just know I'm talking about the front post, because I keep making that mistake. But yeah, I'll go into the front post and then go into the back post with 1 double crochet. So you're going to continue with this till you can do the amount of rows you want, or you can switch your colors depending on how many colors you want to use. But because I'm using leftover yarns, I'm probably going to use about 4 to 5 colors. I have no idea yet, but it depends on if the yarn is going to be enough, because I'm planning on doing a matching top for the skirt. So hopefully the yarns are going to be enough. But just continue with this, and if you want to switch your color, you can use the method I used, or use your own method to switch your colors. I'll let you know how many rows of double crochet I did, or how many rows I did for the skirt when I get the length I want. Now I've gotten the length I want for my skirt, and I did a total of 42 rows of double crochet in the front and the back post. So as you can see, I used 4 different colors. You can use the amount of colors you want for your skirt depending on how colorful you want it to be, or you can use just one solid color. It all depends on you. Now I'm going to work on the waistband of the skirt. So remember, we used the hips measurement for the skirt, so you want the waistband to be kind of cinched in. That's why we are going to try and decrease on the waistband, and I'll show you how to do that. So first of all, you're going to start by making a foundation chain depending on how long you want the waistband to be. I'm going to make a chain of 12. So I have a chain of 12, then chain 1, making it 13. So the chain 1 serves as, or rather the extra chain serves as your chain 1. So what you're going to do is you're going to put 1/2 double crochet into the second stitch from the hook. So for half double crochet, you're going to yarn over and go into the stitch, yarn over and pull through. You have 3 loops left, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over and go into the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So just continue with 1/2 double crochet till you get to the end of the row. Another way you can do the waistband is to do a band separately and just sew it to the waist of the skirt. So it depends on which you prefer. So now I've come to the end of the foundation chain. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch to close the round, and then slip stitch into the next stitch to start a new round. So now it's quite easy to see where you're slip stitching to, because the stitches are easy to find. So slip stitch into one stitch to close up the round, and slip stitch into the next stitch to start a new round. So you're slip stitching twice. Now just turn over and continue with 1/2 double crochet along this chain. Chain 1, turn over, put 1/2 double crochet in each stitch. So now I've come to the end of this row. You're going to slip stitch into the next stitch to close up the round, and then slip stitch into the next stitch to start a new round. Turn over and continue with 1/2 double crochet in each stitch. So you're going to continue with this till you're done going round the waists of the skirt. I'm just going to show you how to do it one last time. So chain 1, turn over, put 1/2 double crochet in each stitch. So now I've come to the end of the row. Slip stitch into the next stitch to close up the round, and then slip stitch into the next stitch to start a new round, then turn over. So just continue with this till you're done going around the waist of the skirt. So now if you want the waistband to be really tight or tighter than normal, what you have to do is, instead of just slip stitching into the next stitch, you're going to skip one stitch and slip stitch into the next stitch to close up the round. Skip one stitch and slip stitch into the next stitch to start a new round. So it depends on how tight you want the waistband to be. You can decrease, but if you want the waistband to be slightly elastic and not too tight, you can just repeat what I did previously. So after going around the skirt with the waistband, I just joined the two ends of the waistband with a single crochet. And this is what the skirt looks like. So please don't forget to subscribe if you love my tutorials. I'll see you guys in my next video.